What kind of made you come back to the sport? Because obviously, for those that don't know, you took a little break away from it to sort of pursue your teaching. So, what made you come back?
Um, to be honest, the competing, like I stopped running in October after like trying to balance teaching and athletics just for September, and it was just too much. And I'm a kind of all or nothing person, so if I can't do something 100%, I don't really want to do it at all. And I felt like I just couldn't give either thing my full attention. So it suited me to give running a break. And to be completely honest, for the first 6 months, it was great and I didn't miss it at all. And I can remember going to watch the British Championships indoors and I didn't have any regrets. It was really nice being a spectator, but everyone went warm weather training and the outdoor season started and I just missed it. And I think I just missed the thrill. Obviously the hurdles indoors isn't hurdles. So yeah, I think just there's nothing like sport and nothing gives you the thrill, obviously the nerves, but when it goes well, actually nothing lives up to that feeling. So yeah, I missed the thrill of it really in the competing side of things.
Yeah, and that's something that's really interesting to hear you say, obviously, like the thrill and the nerves and sort of being in those environments. Do you think sort of your years of experience competing and being in like really high pressure environments helped you in the classroom in your job?
So much. Like as a teacher, you get observed probably every month, maybe every 6 weeks. And I used to get nervous as if I was about to do a race. And it kind of felt like more things were out of my control because you never know what a child is going to do. Like you actually don't. So you could be like the best teacher in the world and you could just have a terrible observation. But I actually kind of dipped into that. I think I do work well in a high pressured environment, and therefore like I actually all my observations tend to go really well, so it was quite a nice thing. And it was the same with exams when I was at school. Some people prefer coursework, but I loved having like an hour to just like go for it. So I think yeah, that's definitely transitioned well into like my life, being used to pressure and having to try and deal with it.
That's really interesting to hear you saying. Do you think like the school you work for like recognise that? Are they pretty good like recognising your sporting career and sort of helping you work around that?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I think my school were my biggest supporters, to be honest. And I left there. Well, I started working there when I left university, and I was a national level athlete. Did it really as a hobby, and they've kind of watched me grow. I joined there when I was 21, and I'm now 27, and they've watched my athletics get better and better. So for them, they are fully part of the journey, and they're there through the highs and the lows, the children and the staff. So yeah, they kind of bend over backwards to try and support me. And I can't wait to go back full time once the running has calmed down a little bit. So it's really nice to have that to fall back onto.
That's really nice to hear. So I guess for you, you've had such a positive experience in your career. And do you think like would you encourage others to try and do it, try and have a career as well as sport, or is it a lot to juggle? What's kind of your
Um, I mean, I've had a really positive experience of it, and I had a really supportive workplace as well. And I'm not going to lie, the 2 years when I was working full time, and training 6 days a week, it really was tough. And I didn't really see my friends for a very long time, and I didn't really have any social life at all. So I'm not going to lie, it is tough, but off that, I had the most successful indoor season ever, and it was a dream come true. And it actually just makes it feel so much more worth it. Like the hard work is worth it. And it may not always go to plan, but it's just finding a workplace that's supportive, and it does just take a lot of dedication and hard work. And from those 2 years that were just quite hellish, to be honest, in a way, just trying to manage everything, I have been successful, and I'm in a situation now where I can take a step back a bit. So it just takes some hard work, but it's definitely doable. And there is the emotion I felt on the day when I had like my breakthrough race was nothing I've ever experienced before. And there is no feeling like hard work paying off. So it is doable. And yeah, so yeah.
What to just talk to us a little bit about that breakthrough you had and like what it meant to you and how it felt like for everyone who doesn't know that race against Wojciech, the Polish lady. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, like I got offered the race only about a week before, and I obviously took it, and it was all very exciting. But I can remember like not wanting to tell anyone that it was on TV because I was like, I'm going to come last. And it's really hard to explain to like 10-year-olds, it's okay if Miss Knight comes last because like it's really good that I'm even here. So I went into it, and I can remember my head teacher, we had a staff meeting the day before, and I wasn't going to be at work on the Friday, and she was like, what time are you on, Jessie? Like, tell everyone, we'll all tune in. And I was thinking, like, I was thinking like, no, 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 don't watch me. And it was just a really surreal. I can remember being in call room, and my coach was telling me off for like being a bit starstruck and like looking around the whole time. She's like, just focus on you, put your blinkers on. And in the call room, the lady was like, right, ready to race. And I looked at her like, no, 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 don't make me go out there. Like, it was a really surreal experience. And I stood on the line, and I could just feel it going well. And I had it that day. It just all came together. And that day is still the happiest day of my life. Like, it changed my whole life, just that 51 seconds of running. So yeah, I think because it took so much to get there, it definitely will always be my favorite race, no matter what I go on to achieve. So yeah, yeah, very emotional.
I mean, I definitely remember watching it and just being starstruck, and I'm sure a lot of the children at Daintree Primary School also were just, yeah, blown away to see their teacher on the screen. So for them, they've obviously got a massive role model in you. Just wondered, did you have somebody like that in your life who sort of encouraged you to pursue sport and, you know, even a career in teaching? Who was kind of your role model when you were young?
To be honest, going through school, all my PE teachers, they've always been, I was the classic child who loved their PE teachers. I was a sporty child, and I'm actually in contact with all of my PE teachers from secondary school and A levels now, which is so lovely. And they still follow everything. And it was my year 4 teacher that got me into athletics. But I think for me, there was a turning point. And once I'd had that break, I got in contact with Marina, and like, we just work. So I think the person that's actually enabled me to get to this point is definitely Marina in the last 3 or 4 years. So yeah, I'd say teachers got me into sport, but Marina's the person that's got me to where I am now, more on an elite level. So yeah, there's been so many people, and obviously my family. I mean, they drove me around the whole country, taking me here, there, and everywhere. I mean, when a few years ago it was like 99% bad races and about 1% good. So they've been there through it all, the tears and the moans and the I don't want to do this anymore. So yeah, family, coach, and all my teachers as well.
Yeah, that sounds like a really good support network. And I think, you know, athletes probably could recognize those people in their network too, sort of like teachers, family, coaches. But in terms of like your career and stuff, do you feel like you had much help in making the transition between the classroom and the track, or even university and the classroom? Do you think there was enough support for you looking to step into a job?
Well, not really. I mean, you kind of do it all yourself. When I was in my 3rd year at university, it was definitely not feasible for athletics to be my job. At this point, I wasn't earning a penny, and um, I had to get a job. But it was time to enter the real world, and it was not an option. A lot of athletes stay in Loughborough, and like carry on there for a few years, but I financially could not do that. So it was always I had to leave and get a job. And athletics was my hobby, but maybe once you get to a certain age, you can't do both because you need to earn money. So yeah, I think no, I just went into the workplace. And I think even now, it's really been down to me and my support network to balance it. Like, you don't really have any outside support. It's just having a really good family, really good coach, really good training group, and luckily a really good workplace that's enabled me to do it all. But yeah, I've just been fortunate to have that support. But yeah, externally, no one's really there to help. I suppose you could seek support, but there isn't really that help with sports people that are trying to make it and work. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
really tricky.
That's kind of where we're trying to come in. We're helping sort of athletes to recognise that they're so valuable to organisations, because all of those things you've talked about, you know, being perseverant and being so committed to something is something you could take with you into the workplace. So it's kind of what we're trying to do here. But I guess, would you say that, you know, athletes have got those transferable skills, and do you think that being an athlete has really helped you excel?
Oh, 100%. Like, the kind of hard work ethic, the dedicated side of things, the time management, all of that has come through sport. And having to, since 8 years old, know that after school I had training, so I have to do my homework then, and all of that has come from sport.
Yeah.
So I think if anything, like, athletes are such good people to hire and work for your company, because actually they have all the skills. Nothing's harder than trying to make it on the sporting scene. So I think if you can do that and show that you're dedicated in that sense, you definitely will be useful in a workplace. So yeah, yeah, definitely 100% any job.
That's really nice to hear. I guess like it reassures us that what we're doing is helping. So just one kind of last question is, what would be your tip as someone who, you know, manages a successful career in sport, a successful career as a teacher, with not enough hours in the day? What is your tip to somebody trying to dual career and juggle it all?
Um, just remember why you're doing it and make sure that you're enjoying what you do. I never just went to work to earn money. I absolutely loved my job and I love athletics. So it's finding something that you genuinely will want to get up for. And for me, obviously, teaching is rewarding, but you have to love both. Otherwise, there's no way you're going to do both. So find something you're passionate about. And obviously, you're passionate about the sporting side of things. So it's all about finding a job you enjoy. Because if it's just about money, then it's going to be really difficult and you're not going to be very happy, and then you won't run well or work well. So yeah, find something you enjoy, definitely.